The universe had seen countless battles, fallen civilizations, and impossible discoveries. But nothing prepared humanity for the signal that came from the place where nothing should exist. A transmission appeared from the heart of a black hole, carrying a message that made every alien empire go silent. They called it a warning. They called it a trap. But humanity did something nobody expected. They sent their most powerful warship straight into the darkness. And inside that endless void, they found something that would change the future of every species forever. The universe had always been full of mysteries, but some mysteries were never meant to be touched. The black hole known as the Void Maw was one of them. For hundreds of years, every civilization in the galaxy stayed far away from its gravity field. Ships that got too close disappeared. Probes sent inside never returned. Even the most advanced alien races considered it a place where no living thing could survive. But then something happened that changed everything. A signal came from inside, not a military transmission, not an emergency code, not a warning. A voice. The human warship Horizon's blade was moving through deep space when the strange transmission reached their communication system. The ship's crew was used to strange discoveries, but this one made the entire bridge go silent. The signal repeated again and again. A weak, broken sound traveled through the speakers. "Is anyone there?" Captain Ryan Cole stared at the screen. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. The communication officer slowly turned toward him. "Captain, that came from inside the black hole." Ryan looked back at the massive darkness ahead. A place where entire stars disappeared. A place where every known law of survival collapsed. "That's impossible," one officer whispered. Ryan didn't answer, because deep down, he knew something. Humanity had explored dangerous worlds before. They had entered storms that scared entire species. They had fought battles against enemies that seemed unbeatable. But this was different. Something was trapped, and it was asking for help. The ship's AI immediately warned them. Entering the black hole's influence zone is not recommended. Survival probability is extremely low. The crew looked at their captain. Everyone expected him to order a retreat. Instead, Ryan asked one question. "Can we reach the signal?" The navigation officer hesitated. "Technically, yes." "And the chance of coming back?" Nobody answered. Ryan understood. There probably wasn't one. The bridge remained quiet until the captain finally spoke. "Prepare the ship." The crew froze. "Captain, you're serious?" Ryan looked at the darkness ahead. "Someone sent a message from a place nobody survives." He paused. "And we're going to find out why." The Horizon's blade activated its strongest shields and moved forward. As the ship approached the black hole, the stars behind them started disappearing one by one. The darkness grew closer. The ship shook violently. Warning alarms filled the bridge. Gravity distortion increasing. Shields dropping. "Captain, we're losing control." Ryan gripped his command chair. "Hold the line." The crew pushed the ship harder. They were entering a place where no human had ever gone before. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, alien civilizations detected their movement. When they realized what humanity was doing, fear spread everywhere. They are going inside the Void Maw? They don't know what they're facing. They will never return. But humanity didn't turn back. Because the signal came again, stronger this time, the entire bridge heard it clearly. A small voice, scared, alone, "Please." The crew stopped, then the voice continued. "Don't leave me here." For a moment, nobody saw a monster. Nobody saw a threat. They only heard someone who needed help. Ryan looked at his crew. "Lock onto that signal." The officer nodded. "Captain, we're getting closer." The black hole surrounded them. The last light from the universe disappeared. And as the Horizon's blade crossed into the unknown, the real mission finally began. Because they weren't searching for what was inside the black hole. They were searching for the reason why something was still alive there. The moment the Horizon's blade crossed deeper into the black hole's gravitational field, the universe outside vanished. There were no stars, no distant planets, no signals from the galaxy, only darkness. The ship's systems struggled against the impossible forces surrounding them. Every second inside the void, Ma felt like the laws of space were breaking apart. "Gravity pressure increasing," the engineer shouted. "Shields are down to 40%. Captain Ryan Cole stared at the readings. The numbers made no sense. The black hole should have crushed them already, but somehow they were still alive. "That's strange," the science officer said quietly. Ryan looked at her. "What?" She pointed at the screen. "The gravitational field isn't attacking us." Everyone looked confused. "Black holes don't attack," Ryan replied. The officer shook her head. "No, Captain. I mean, it's almost like something is controlling it." The bridge went silent. Before anyone could respond, the mysterious signal returned. This time, it was clearer. The child's voice sounded closer. "Are you still there?" Ryan immediately activated the communication channel. "Yes, we hear you." A long pause followed. The child sounded surprised. "You actually came?" Ryan leaned forward. "Who are you?" The voice hesitated. "My name is Kaylin." The crew exchanged looks. A name, an identity, a living being, inside a black hole. Ryan continued. "Kaylin, where are you?" The child became quiet. Then came a whisper. "I don't know anymore." The words hit the crew harder than any alarm. A child lost in the most dangerous place in existence. The ship moved deeper, following the signal. But something strange started happening. The closer they got, the calmer the black hole became. The violent gravity waves disappeared. The shaking stopped. It was almost as if the darkness was opening a path for them. The crew noticed it too. "Captain, this is impossible." Ryan looked at the endless void ahead. "No," he corrected, "it means we're not alone." Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected something massive. Everyone froze. A structure appeared on their scanners. Not a planet, not a ship, something ancient, something enormous. It was hidden inside the black hole. The science officer stared at the data. "This is thousands of years old." Ryan looked confused. "Who built it?" She didn't answer, because another discovery appeared. Life signs, one, only one. Kaylin. The crew prepared the rescue operation. But as they approached the mysterious structure, their systems began receiving strange recordings. Old messages, millions of them, from different alien civilizations. The recordings were damaged, but one sentence appeared again and again: "Never let the child leave." The bridge went cold. Ryan stared at the message. Why would they say that? Nobody had an answer. Then Kaylin spoke again, but this time his voice was different, scared. "Captain Ryan?" Ryan turned toward the speakers. "Yes," the child whispered. "You need to leave." The captain froze. "Why?" A few seconds of silence passed. Then Kaylin replied, "Because now they know you are here." Suddenly, the entire black hole started moving. The darkness around them changed. The ancient structure powered up. And for the first time since entering the void maw, something noticed humanity. The ship's alarms exploded. A new signal appeared, not from Kaylin, something else, something huge. The AI gave a warning. "Unknown entity detected." The bridge crew prepared for battle. Ryan looked at the blackness ahead. They came here to rescue a child, but now they realized something terrifying. The child was not trapped inside the black hole. He was being protected from what was outside. The bridge of the Horizon's blade fell completely silent. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Every soldier, every scientist, every crew member stared at the same message flashing on their screens. Unknown entity detected. Something was approaching. Something massive. Something that had been hiding inside the darkness of the void maw. Captain Ryan Cole tightened his grip on the command chair. "Show me the target." The science officer's hands moved quickly across the controls. "That's the problem, Captain." Ryan looked at her. "What do you mean?" She swallowed. "We can detect its energy, but we can't see it." A cold feeling moved through the bridge, an enemy they couldn't see. A creature or machine hidden in the one place where nothing should survive. Then Kaylin's voice came through the communication system. "Please, turn around." Ryan immediately answered. "We didn't come this far to leave you." The child stayed quiet. Then he said something that confused everyone. "You don't understand. They aren't coming for you." A pause. "They're coming for me." The crew looked at each other. Ryan leaned closer to the speaker. "Kaylin, who are they?" For several seconds, there was only static. Then the child finally answered. "The Guardians." The name appeared in the ship's database, but not as a species, not as a civilization, as a warning. The oldest records in the galaxy mentioned them only once. A mysterious force that appeared thousands of years ago and erased entire civilizations. Nobody knew what they were. Nobody knew why they existed. But every surviving record had the same message. Run. The ship suddenly shook. A wave of energy passed through them. The lights flickered. The AI spoke. External force attempting to access ship systems. The crew panicked. They're hacking us, Ryan stood up. Lock every system. The engineer responded quickly. We're trying, but it's not like a normal attack. It's like they already know everything about us. The captain stared at the darkness. That was impossible. Unless they had been watching humanity for a very long time. Suddenly, the mysterious structure ahead opened. A giant doorway appeared inside the black hole. Beyond it was a hidden world, a massive station floating in the darkness, and in the center, a small escape pod. Kaylin, the child, was there, alive. Alone, Ryan ordered the rescue team to prepare. But before they could launch, the communication system activated by itself. A new voice appeared. It wasn't Kaylin. It wasn't human. It sounded ancient. Human vessel? Everyone froze. The voice continued. You have entered a place that even your ancestors feared. Ryan stepped forward. This child needs help. The voice responded coldly. This child is the reason millions died. The bridge became silent. Ryan looked at the pod. Impossible. The child sounded afraid, lost, innocent. The voice continued. You do not know what you have found. A massive shadow moved outside the ship. The unknown entity was getting closer. You think you are rescuing him? A pause, but you are releasing him. Kaylin suddenly screamed through the speakers. Don't listen to them. The ship shook violently. Ryan turned toward the communication system. Kaylin, tell me the truth. The child's voice trembled. I was never a prisoner. Everyone froze. I was hiding. The captain felt his heart sink. Hiding from what? The answer came quietly, a whisper that terrified the entire crew. From myself. At that moment, every system on the horizon's blade shut down. Weapons offline. Engines offline. Shields offline. Humanity's greatest warship was helpless. And outside the ship, the darkness began to take shape. The Guardians had arrived. But the most terrifying discovery was not that they came to stop humanity. It was that they were afraid too. Afraid of the child. The horizon's blade drifted silently in the darkness. For the first time in human history, the greatest warship ever built had become completely powerless. No engines, no weapons, no shields, only darkness surrounded them. And outside the ship, the Guardians waited. The crew stared at the massive shadow moving through the void maw. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. It wasn't a creature, not exactly. It looked like a living machine built from unknown technology, covered with layers of ancient armor. Captain Ryan Cole stood near the command screen. Bring the systems back online. The engineer shook his head. We can't. Whatever attacked us didn't destroy the ship. It simply took control. Ryan looked toward the escape pod where Kaylin was trapped. Then we find another way. The communication system activated. Kaylin's voice appeared. Captain, you need to leave before it's too late. Ryan answered immediately. No, a pause. We don't abandon people. The child went silent. Then he said something that changed everything. Humans really are different. The crew looked confused. Kaylin continued. My people studied your species for years. They said humans were unpredictable, too emotional, too dangerous. His voice became softer. But they never understood something. Ryan listened. You don't save someone because it's safe. The child paused. You save them because it's right. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then the ship suddenly received a massive data transmission. The science officer checked it. Captain, this is impossible. What is it? She looked terrified. It's a recording from thousands of years ago. The screen displayed an ancient alien message. A group of different species appeared. They looked afraid. The recording began. We created a solution to stop the threat we discovered beyond our galaxy. The image changed. A young alien child appeared. Kaylin. But the recording showed him much younger. The crew stared. The message continued. We placed the key inside a living host and hid him where nothing could reach him. Ryan looked at Kaylin's pod. The child, the science officer nodded slowly. He's not a weapon. She looked at the data. He's a lock. The bridge went quiet. Kaylin wasn't dangerous. He was protecting something worse. The Guardians appeared again on the screen. The ancient message continued. If the Guardians find him, they will remove the lock and awaken the threat. The recording ended. Nobody moved. The truth was finally clear. The Guardians weren't hunting Kaylin because he was dangerous. They were hunting him because he was the only thing stopping them. Suddenly, the massive entity outside the ship sent another message. "Human vessel, give us the child." Ryan stepped forward. "No," the entity responded. "You do not understand the consequences." Ryan looked at his crew, then at Kalen. "We understand enough." The entity's voice became colder. "You will sacrifice your entire species for one alien child?" Ryan smiled slightly. "That's where you're wrong." He looked at the powerless warship around him. "You think we came here because he was important." A pause. "We came because someone needed us." The Guardians attacked. The entire black hole shook. But this time, humanity was ready. The engineers found a hidden backup system. The scientists discovered the ancient station's controls. And the soldiers prepared for a battle they had almost no chance of winning. Because humans had one advantage the galaxy never understood. When everything said to run, humanity moved forward. The ship's systems started coming back online. The Horizon's blade powered up. Ryan looked at the approaching darkness. "Let's show them why nobody should underestimate us." The final battle inside the black hole was about to begin, but neither side knew the child they were fighting over had one last secret. A secret that would decide the fate of the entire galaxy. The Horizon's blade was dying. The mighty human warship that had crossed into the impossible darkness was now barely holding together. The black hole shook around them as the ancient guardians surrounded the ship. Every alarm on the bridge was screaming. Shields at 5%. Engine output dropping. Another hit and we're finished. The crew looked toward Captain Ryan Cole. For the first time, even the most fearless soldiers looked uncertain. They had fought alien fleets. They had survived impossible battles, but nothing compared to this. A force that had terrified entire civilizations was standing right in front of them, and behind them was only one thing: a small alien child named Kalen. Ryan looked at the escape pod, the child who had been trapped in darkness for years, the child who sent a signal when nobody else would answer, the child who made humanity enter the place where even the galaxy was afraid to go. "Kalen," Ryan said through the communication channel. "Yes, Captain. Tell me the truth." A pause. "Are you really the only thing keeping them away?" The child stayed silent. Then he answered, "No." Everyone on the bridge froze. Ryan narrowed his eyes. "What do you mean?" Kalen looked terrified. "I am not the lock." A heavy silence filled the ship. "I am the key." The crew exchanged worried looks. The child continued. "My people trained me to shut down the Guardians if they ever became dangerous. But they were too afraid of what would happen if I used my power." Ryan understood. "They feared you," Kalen nodded. "They thought I would become the same as them." The Guardians moved closer. The massive entity sent one final message. "Humanity, give us the child. You cannot understand what he is capable of." Ryan looked outside, then he smiled. "You're right." The Guardians paused. "We don't know what he can become." Ryan looked back at Kalen. "But we know what he is now. A child, someone who needed help." The captain gave the order. "All ship systems, redirect everything to Kalen's chamber." The crew looked shocked. "Captain, that will leave us defenseless." Ryan nodded. "I know." The engineer understood. "You're giving him all our power." Ryan answered. "Exactly." The Horizon's blade transferred every remaining energy reserve into the ancient station. The ship went dark. The Guardians attacked, but before they reached them, Kalen activated the system. A wave of energy exploded across the black hole. The Guardians stopped. Their weapons disappeared. Their armor cracked. For thousands of years, they had controlled the darkness. But now, they were powerless. The ancient machines finally became silent. The black hole began to calm. The impossible storm that had existed for ages started fading. The galaxy watched from far away as the human ship returned. Everyone expected a battle report, a victory speech, a warning about the dangers of the void maw. Instead, the first message from Captain Ryan Cole was simple: mission complete. The alien civilizations were confused. Did humanity destroy the threat? The answer came. No. A pause. They saved someone. Years later, Kalen became a symbol across the galaxy. Not because he was powerful, not because he was connected to an ancient secret, but because his story changed the way every species saw humanity. For centuries, aliens believed humans were dangerous, aggressive, unpredictable. But they learned the truth. Humanity was dangerous when protecting those who had no one else. And somewhere in the endless universe, a child who once believed he was forgotten looked at the stars from the human world. Ryan stood beside him. Kalen asked quietly, "Captain, why did you risk everything for me?" Ryan looked at the stars. "Because someone had to come." The child smiled. The galaxy had feared the darkness for thousands of years. But that day, everyone learned something new. The darkness was never the most terrifying thing in the universe. The most powerful force was a species that would enter it just to save one life. Humanity answered the signal, and the universe would never forget.